Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a Q&A that I actually put on my Instagram story a few days ago, and I got a lot of really good questions about entrepreneurship, as well as windshield repair, and just the business in general. So I feel like I should make a YouTube video on this because it's going to provide a lot of value for you guys, and maybe some of these questions you might have. So I'm going to go ahead and explain everything in detail and try to give you as much value as I possibly can. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, I definitely would recommend it, especially if you're getting into the windshield repair business, because I have a lot of videos on there that will explain the business and give you some tips and tricks on how to grow your own business, or maybe even start a windshield repair business. So go ahead, give me a follow. I'll leave a link down in the description and you can check that out. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the questions. First question is best place to start in entrepreneurship. So if you're not making money outside of your 9 to 5, it's usually because you're not providing any value. That's essentially all entrepreneurship is basically providing value for either a person or a business or whoever to in turn get money for that value and for that service. And that's quite simply as simple as it gets. A lot of people like to overcomplicate this stuff, but you essentially just want to provide value to someone to be able to make money. That is the building block of entrepreneurship. You want to be able to provide any sort of value. There's so many different ways to do this. Now, you can be a sales rep for another business, or maybe you can run their ads, or maybe you can just do any type of service for a business or for a customer, so just any old person, and then you earn money for that value or for that service. And quite frankly, everybody's saying it either on YouTube or on Instagram. They're always saying the easiest way to get into entrepreneurship, the easiest way to make money either online or just outside of your 9 to 5 is simply providing a service for people, providing some type of value for people to where they give you money for whatever you do for them. So I would suggest that you get into something like that to where you provide something for someone else and then you can make money doing so. Easiest way, simplest way. You don't have to start a big business. You don't have to hire employees. You don't have to learn a bunch of different types of skills. You learn one skill, you have one service, and you provide that to someone to make money. So for me, I went through the ropes. I've tried different business models. I've tried different services to offer people, but the only thing that really worked for me and something that I actually saw results with was windshield repair. Basically, I learned how to do windshield repair, and then I basically provided that service to other people to be able to make money with it. And again, I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. I didn't know anything about business. All I did was just found something that I can do that I can push out to the world, push out to businesses, push out to people. And I started my journey that way. And again, that's how I started. I started very small, just providing a simple service to people. And that's usually going to be the easiest way to actually get into entrepreneurship. And that's probably one of the best ways to actually start. All right, next question is, do you see growth in a windshield repair business? So to give you a little bit of context, I made 42% more money in 2023 than I did in 2022. Why did this happen? Well, obviously I learned business a little bit more. I started to, dial in on all of the tactics and the marketing materials and all of the things that I was doing in business to be able to grow my business. But it also played a factor that windshield repair is actually growing in demand. It's actually becoming more needed in the marketplace because, for one, there's a lot of new cars on the road that get rock chips all the time. These cars have very weak glass on them, so rock chips happen quite often. And for two, people usually just don't want to have to replace their windshield. They would much rather just repair it, get it done quick, and basically just don't have to worry about the hassle that they would have to go through with replacing their whole entire windshield. So yes, windshield repair is growing rapidly. All of the manufacturers out there are making, better technology for the tools. They're making better tools. They're coming out with better resins, better lights, etc. So this business definitely is growing in demand. And as the years go by, I can only see it growing even more. All right, next question is, what are some action steps that I can take to leave my job in 2024? So let me give you a little roadmap of exactly what I would do to leave my job in 2024. And this might be a little bit biased because I already do windshield repair, but I would start a windshield repair business, and this is how I would do it. I would simply go on Delta Kid's website. I would purchase the starter kit. So the cheapest kit that you can get has everything you need, nothing you don't. I would get that kit. I would then go to an auto glass shop and I would pick up a practice windshield. And basically all this is just a broken piece of glass that you would get from an auto glass replacement shop. and I would bring that glass home. I would make as many rock chips as possible on it to where I can use my kit, repair them all, get proficient enough to actually be able to charge customers for the service that I'm providing. So I want to make sure that I'm getting good at this. And then I would go ahead and walk parking lots. I would visit businesses. I would visit fleet businesses that have a bunch of vehicles. I would visit dealerships that have a bunch of vehicles, and I would offer my service to them. I would do this every single day. I would walk parking lots, put my contact info on the cars that had rock chips. I would go to businesses and give them my contact info, ask them to do service for them. And I would continually do this until I had a bunch of businesses that I was working for, and then I had a bunch of clients that were coming to me because I went out and put my contact information on their vehicle that had a rock chip. And I would not quit until I got customers. This is a big key detail that you need to know, is that sometimes people go out there, they do all this stuff, they do it one time and they don't see any results. But of course you're not going to see results. You're not doing it enough. So you have to do more and more and more of it. The more you do, the more results that you're going to get. So I would continue to do this until I had customers coming in, I was making money, and then I would reinvest that money back into the business. And then once I'm starting to make enough money to be able to leave my job, I would then leave my job and then go full force on to Windshield Repair. And I say this because this is exactly what I did. Now, mind you, I did get fired from my job, but that was the process that I took. I went out, I found customers, I did the hard work that I needed to do to be able to get those first few customers, first 10, first 20, first 30, reinvested that money back into my business, and then I grew from there. So the next question was, is $300 a day with Windshield Repair hard? Well, making $300 a day outside of your 9 to 5 is actually pretty easy. Now, why do I say it's easy? Because simply you have to find 3 people to pay you $100 every single day. Now, how do you do this? Well, like I said in the first question, you have to provide value to people. You have to provide a service to people. And if that service is worth $100 per customer, then all you have to do is find 3. You're making $300 a day, which equates to about $100,000 a year. Now, is this hard with Windshield Repair? Well, I say no, because there is thousands and thousands of cars out there that are in my area that are on the road, most likely getting rock chips. And if I can find those customers, or those customers can find me, then I have the opportunity to make some money. And if I can just land 3 of those customers every single day, that's all it's gonna take for me to make $300 per day. So in simple terms, I learn the service, I learn the value, I provide the value to the customer, I charge the customer $100, and I do that 3 times. Now I have myself a 6-figure windshield repair business. How do I get to $5,000 per month the fastest with Windshield Repair? So I think the quickest way to $5,000 per month with Windshield Repair is going to be through paid advertising. Now, the reason I say this is because you can put your business out to thousands and thousands and thousands of people every single day, so they can see what you do, they see the quality that you provide, and then they see that you provide the service that they need for the problem that they have. And if thousands of people are seeing your ad and they're seeing what you do, then most likely they're going to reach out to you because you can fix the problem that they have. So simply, the more people that see you, the more customers you're going to have, and then the more money that you're going to be able to make. And I say that this is the easiest way because you essentially just have to create an ad, find out who your target audience is, or just try to find people that are in your area and push that out to them. That all works on the back burner. You don't have to worry about it really. You put it up once, you kind of make sure that it's running right, and then that ad is being seen by thousands and thousands of people every single day. You don't necessarily have to do any work other than actually doing the repairs for these customers, but essentially it's already being pushed out by Facebook, by Instagram, by Yelp, by Google, whatever platform you want to use, and customers are seeing what you do, and they're going to be able to reach out to you and want to work with you, which in turn means that you're going to be able to make money. Now, if you didn't want to have to pay for advertising and you want a different way, but it might not be so easy, is simply just being able to go out there, put your feet on the ground, and find these customers the free marketing ways that I talk about on my Instagram and on YouTube. This is definitely doable. You can make 5K every single month with all of these tactics, but it's going to require you to actually put in the work, get out there, put your feet on the ground, and actually find these customers. All right, so next question is, how do you stay motivated in business? So here's one thing you got to remember. Motivation is not going to help you in your business as much as you might think. Sure, it could be a good asset to have, but the biggest driving factor for your business is definitely going to be discipline. You have to be able to do things every single day and do them continually and consistently to be able to get the result that you actually want. Motivation is just a feeling. When you get excited about something, it's gonna come and it's gonna go. But discipline is something that happens every single day, which actually moves a needle for your business. So once you have discipline, then you can bring motivation into into the equation. And I do this usually by celebrating small wins. Every little small win that you get, go ahead and congratulate yourself. Reinforce that behavior. Give yourself a little reward for whatever you did. When you do this, this actually tells your brain that you're doing something right, and it tells your brain that you want to do more of that thing that you did to be able to get that outcome that you got. So when you give yourself a small reward and you congratulate yourself, all of that work that you put in before that, you're telling your brain that that is what got you that reward. So try this. Every little small thing that you do in your business that you actually feel like you were productive with, go ahead and congratulate yourself with. If you get your first customer, go ahead and congratulate yourself, give yourself a pat on the back, maybe reward yourself with something that you might want to buy, but do a small win that will actually reinforce that behavior. Of course, don't go out and buy a car, but when you actually start making moves in your business and you actually start seeing success, it's okay to give yourself a little bit of a reward after that. When I do this, it kind of keeps me motivated and I can see into the future what exactly I need to do to be able to get me to where I want to go, because I work really hard to be able to either have freedom, have, money, have the things I want. So every time I do something in my business and I see success with it, I want to be able to reinforce that, reward myself, give myself something that I wanted to be able to give me the motivation to be able to keep working and continue to grow my business. All right, next question is, can I get rich with windshield repair? No, you can't get rich with windshield repair. Now, can you make a good income off windshield repair? Absolutely. You can make $100,000, $200,000 a year, and you can live very, very comfortably. But are you going to get rich? Probably not. But you definitely don't want to worry about that yet. You want to worry about making your first few dollars with windshield repair. You want to worry about making your first $10,000, your first $50,000, your first $100,000, and then you can start worrying about actually getting rich. But if you haven't ever done anything other than work your 9-to-5 job, then usually you're probably not going to get rich right after you leave your 9-to-5 job. In most cases, you have to start somewhere, and windshield repair is a great opportunity for that. It's a great opportunity to be able to make money outside of your 9-to-5, to be able to make money on your own terms and kind of create your own paycheck. So how do you find these nice car companies to do windshield repair for? So here's what I do to find these cars like Lamborghini Uruses, Ferraris, Rolls Royces, Porsches, and all of these higher end cars to do windshield repair for. Usually what I do is I meet someone, I do a job for them. They know a person that needs my service, so I do a job for them. And just so happens that that person owns a dealership that, sells and buys newer, nice, exotic cars. And then that person knows another business that does the same thing. So then I start working with them, and it's just kind of a compounding effect from there. So really what it is building connections with people, meeting people, talking to people, doing right for people, helping them out, and then they're going to be able to help you out as well. That's one of the building blocks of business, is being able to, do good business with people, meet other people, have connections built with them, and then be able to talk to their network, to be able to talk to all the people that they know and kind of build from there. And that's one nice thing about this business, is that I can actually talk to so many different people every single day, and I never really know who I'm going to find. So I might find, someone that is a normal person, and then I might find someone that's a rich guy that owns a bunch of cars and has a bunch of connections and is in contact with a bunch of businesses that might need my service, and then he can refer me over to them. So next question is, can I do windshield repair as a side hustle? Here's one thing that you should know. You can literally learn one skill and you can make an extra $50,000 every single year. All you have to do is learn one skill, provide that skill for people, and make money that way. So to relate it to me, my first year, I had to learn everything about business. I made every single mistake, and I still made 20K that first year as a side hustle. So I always recommend people to start this business as a side hustle, because you can build yourself up from there. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to get rid of all the money that you're making. You can actually do windshield repair on the side. You can do it on your weekends, on the days that you're off, maybe even at nighttime, and then you can build your business up from there. So all I did was learn one skill, and that basically led me to leaving my job, making more money than I was making before, and creating a really good quality of life for myself. But that first year that I was doing it as a side hustle, I made so many connections, I had a lot of referrals, and I learned a lot about business as I was building myself up. And it was very, very important for me to kind of learn all of those skills and go through all that trial and error phase to basically get me to where I am now. All right, the last question here is, what are some challenges you experience in your business? So you're probably not gonna like this answer, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway because it's the truth. People always ask me, what are the challenges? What are the problems that you ran into? What are some things that you gotta look out for when you first start? What are, the bad things that can happen? What if this happens? What about this? It's all negative stuff that you're thinking about. And you really should not be thinking about any of it because for one, it hasn't happened. And for two, that usually is what's going to talk you out of starting something that you actually do want to start. All of the problems, all of the challenges, all of the things that you might run into have not happened yet, so don't worry about them. I heard a saying not too long ago, and it went something like, anxiety is just thoughts that aren't reality. And there's a lot of truth to that because a lot of times you think about the bad things, you think about negative thoughts, you think about what if this happened, what if that happened, and all of that are just what ifs. It's just things that you think about and they haven't really happened yet, so why are you worrying about them? What you should be worrying about is the things that are happening now that actually did happen. Worry about all of this stuff later. Worry about the problems that arise when they come. Worry about everything later down the road when you actually have to worry about it instead of worrying about it before it even happens. And when people ask me this, I don't really like to give them all the problems that I ran into. I don't like to tell them the challenges that I ran into because my journey is probably different than your journey. You might run into different problems than I did, or I run into different problems than you. Maybe we run into the same problems, but most likely you're gonna be on a different journey than I was on. So please do not worry about any of that stuff because that is the one factor that's probably going to hold you back from getting you from where you are to where you actually want to be. So those are the main questions that I got from my poll that I ran on Instagram a few days ago, and I hope they provided you some value. Hopefully you might have had some of those questions yourself, and maybe I answered some of those for you. Like I said, go to my Instagram, check out my Instagram. I have a lot of good, valuable content on there about windshield repair, about business, about a bunch of things. So definitely give me a follow and check that out. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and give this video a like so it can be pushed out to other people that can help them. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.